We ready for the next speaker? Yeah! This is a speaker I have never seen in person, but I'm very excited to see in person. We've been friends for a while on Facebook, but today is the first day I got to meet him. So you're going to have to correct me if I pronounce this as Aryeh Rohde, right? Aryeh. Okay, Aryeh Rohde. Okay. He is a nationally known libertarian activist at the age of 19. He was the youngest voting member of the LPWA in history as a high school student, and he has spoken in front of thousands of people since age 15 and been featured in national publications and media as he champions individual liberty and civil rights. He has petitioned sheriffs, elected officials, organized town halls, and youth liberty groups fighting for natural rights. Let's welcome. Good to meet you.
Well, how are y'all doing today? I must say it's a fantastic day to piss off the liberals and Jay Inslee. Well, for those of you who don't know, I'm a member of the Washington State 3% and a proud member. The media would like to portray my organization as a racist, bigoted about what I'm doing today and why you're all here. The same thing that I studied in school and on my own independent initiative is happening today and in this state and across the country. Elected officials, representatives that think they are king and can push us under their thumb, think they have the authority to tell us what we can and cannot do in our day-to-day lives. And I'd like to tell Jay Inslee and anybody else who thinks that you are wrong and you have quite a crowd to get through before you think you can do that. So on to the coronavirus, this deadly new virus that's stunning the world and stopping the world in its tracks. Well, let's put this into perspective. Every year, heart disease kills more people in America than any other thing in this entire country. 605,000 heart attacks a day or a year kill Americans just in this country, with over 200,000 reoccurring heart attacks and over 365,000 deaths happening a month, or not a month, God, I'm really bad at this. Put this into perspective, I'm not scared of COVID. I have an underlying health condition. I've had acute childhood asthma my entire life. When I was little, just a child, I had to sleep on a nebulizer, or else I could die in my sleep. My throat would close up and I could pass away from this. And to my understanding, the coronavirus is a respiratory illness. And if I were to get it, it could be pretty bad. But I'm not scared of that, and I don't think you should be either. Another perspective number, drunk driving kills 10,000 people a year, 30 people a day in this country. Why don't we have initiatives to stop that? We're putting the entire country on hold just so we can kowtow to Jay Inslee, hide in our houses, ostracize ourselves from our communities and our friends while we are being deemed the enemy and the weapon of this. That's ridiculous. We are free Americans. We are free people. Nobody, I don't care who you are, who you think you are, I am my own person. You are your own people. Nobody other than God has the right to tell you what you can and cannot do with your own life. Just recently, Jay Inslee has put us under a new restriction. We're 250 days in since the first restrictions in this state.
2 weeks to flatten the curve.
2 weeks to flatten the curve. Excuse my French, but I call it bullshit. And I'd like to make this very obvious to any media outlets, any possible infiltrators on this that are going to try to portray this as something that it isn't. This isn't an anti-mask protest. This isn't a gun rights protest. This is a civil rights protest. It's a civil rights movement. What we are doing is for the good of us, and nobody has a better idea of what's best for you and your family other than yourself. The events that are unfolding in front of our eyes are making history. There's no doubt about that. While the major news outlets provide speculation and updated footage on this, they also provide tall tales, hearsay, and absolute lies, trying to pass this off as a fact, but in all actuality, they're blocking the truth and attempting to strip your civil liberties away in front of your eyes. Free men and women don't ask their governor for permission. They don't ask for their freedom. Nobody can give you permission to do what we want to do. You're the only person that can do that. You all are here on your own accord, on your own initiative. I can promise you not all of us have the same beliefs. We don't have the same orientation. We might not even get along. But we're here on our own accord protesting one thing. And that one thing in my mind is the individual liberties of the individual. I firmly believe and always have the smallest minority in the world, not just in this country, not in this state. It doesn't have to do anything with the color of your skin or your sexual orientation. The smallest individual or the smallest minority is the individual. That is you, that is you, that is I. We, ourselves, as individuals, are often forgot about. We are left in the dark. Our opinions are nullified. They are not heard of. The governor, wherever he is, he might be in there, he might be on Whidbey Island. He's not going to hear this. He doesn't care about you or I. But I can promise you that I care more about you than he does us.
Yeah, that's right.
And if we are to make any headway in this, we must continue to do acts of courage and boldness, just like we are here today. Each and every one of us is here on our own accord, possibly putting ourselves at risk for the coronavirus. I highly doubt that. At the start of this pandemic, I did the math. I exposed myself to well over 15,000 people in this state. I traveled to every corner of this state. I crossed it 5 different times. Never once have I contracted the coronavirus. Never once have I actually even met somebody with coronavirus. People must resist what the powers that be are trying to do. At every turn, at every inch, we can no longer give them an inch because we have proven that every time we give an inch, they take well over a mile. And I am sick and tired of being told of what I can and cannot do by a man I've never even spoke to or met in my life. I'd also like to give a shout out to one of my good friends, Joey Gibson, the leader of Patriot Prayer. He's doing something absolutely courageous, something slightly crazy, and I'm all aboard on it. He's going to people's houses, the liquor board and control agents' houses, that have been shutting down bars, restaurants, and small businesses for their violations. In America, since the start of this pandemic, over 100,000 small businesses have been closed with no chance of reopening. I'm pretty sure, I put my life on it, that Jay Inslee is making more money off of this pandemic than anyone else is in this state. That he is. The governor's role during a pandemic, not even the governor, the government's role during a pandemic is to provide accurate information. And then only once that information is provided, allow for the free people, which is you and I, to decide what we can do with that information. If we want to go out, if you want to go out and have a big family Thanksgiving, invite 20 to 40 people out, you do that. If they want to come to your house, that is their choice. No one can say they can or cannot do that. Who are they to tell us what we can do in our day-to-day lives? That's ridiculous. That's government overreach. That is what a tyrant does. The past couple months, I have been looking deeply into myself and to philosophers on what can be done about this. And I can't help but think about somebody who was born in 1469. His name is Nikolai Machiavelli. He has some outstanding quotes here that I'd like to read for you, and I think they do apply. Politicians have no relation to morals. Do you think Jay Inslee is kowtowing to his own initiatives, to what he's trying to force us to do? Or do you think he's living his life, having fun, going on vacation, and having massive family meals? I would put my life on it that he is. Another one, which I really hope Jay Inslee gets to hear, is one who deceives will always find those who allow themselves to be deceived. They are the deceivers. They are the people that are corrupt. They are the people that want to make us their slaves. We must remind Jay Inslee that he is a tyrant and that he is a civil role. He has been elected by the people, even though I really don't want him in that office. It might have been stolen, guys. Let's be honest here. Stop the steal! Stop the steal!
Stop the steal! Stop the steal!
We must remember that the first method of understanding the intelligence of a ruler is to look at the men he surrounds himself with. Look at Bob Ferguson. Look at Jay Inslee. Look at what they did with Tim Iwan's initiative to give us $30 car tabs. We voted on that. He shot it down. He is a tyrant that has no more interest in milking us for everything that we have. I am tired of the rape of this country and tired of the rape of this amazing state, Washington State. I was born here. I want to raise my family here, and I will die here, and I will gladly die fighting for your rights. My name's Aryeh Rohde. Thank you very... Oh, wait, one other thing. I had a really good idea the other day. So, I stated earlier that over 100,000 businesses across this nation have been closed down permanently with no chance of reopening. And if anybody has a small business here that is suffering, I'd like you to hear me out. Everybody, please do me a quick favor. Pull out your phones, get on Facebook Live, take a video, and please post this. I'll give you a minute to do that.
Facebook banned me from doing that.
Hey, multicultural white supremacy at its finest. I'm a Jew, you're African American. Look at us, we're violent. So this idea that I have, I've been thinking about hosting a protest. And what that is for every small business that is suffering or has been shut down, I would like you to reach out to me. My name is Aryeh Rohde. You can find me on Facebook. It's not too hard. I want to bring hundreds and possibly even thousands of people to small restaurants and small businesses that have been suffering. I want to bring out speakers like Jim Walsh, myself, Joey Gibson, Matt Marshall. We all need to come together to these small businesses, bring them money so they can put food on the table for their families, so they can support their lives alone without the permission of the governor. And we got to remember, when this is a protest, there's no tax dollars, guys. They can't make a single dime off of every purchase we make. And as a libertarian, I must say that taxation is theft. And in this state, without the representation, I am tired of being raped. My name is Aryeh Rohde. Thank you all for coming out.
Thank you, brother. Thank you for having me. Was that worth it? Yeah.